Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. And today's comes from a former president. It's so powerful. I'm going to pair it up with some scripture. We're going to dig in. So from Theodore Roosevelt, he said, "The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything." Wow. You know what? We're always prone to making mistakes because we are human. We're trying to learn it as we go, right? But you can't keep the idea of making a mistake at the front of your mind and let it paralyze you from moving at all. You've got to know there are great opportunities to make huge mistakes, but you've got to remember, when you do make a mistake, and it doesn't turn out the way that you thought, you've just learned something. So use those mistakes as learning opportunities. It's really easy to say that. It's another thing to do that, because when you make a mistake and fail, you feel like a failure, don't you? It makes you not even want to try again, but you've got to keep trying. Why? Well, because you know you're never alone. And that's one of the most overwhelming parts of this quote of the day. Almost every morning I'll tell you, the reason why you can do this is because you're not alone. And that is so refreshing to me. It's something I never want you to look past. I never want you to take for granted that you are not alone, because you're not. The Holy Spirit on the inside of you, your Heavenly Father leading you and guiding you with you every step of the way. So you don't have to feel like you're isolated and alone and you're doing it by yourself, because you're simply not. Plus, besides our Father leading you along, you've got us, your brothers and sisters in Christ, to help you as well. What an amazing support system, the way that God set this thing up. So I want you to remember that. Now, as far as the dreams that you have, as far as the goals, the ambitions that you have, the things you want to do in this life, I want to remind you of one scripture. And this one, it goes a long way. It comes to you from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Our God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think. What that says to me is, for all those goals, those ambitions, those dreams, those things that I'm just so passionate about, God can take it up 100 notches, 100 times more than I ever could on my own. So, don't let the fear of mistakes keep you from moving forward into what God is calling you to do. I'm serious when I say this. History books are waiting to be written about the man and the woman of God who will do what He has called them to do to their fullest. And I know that's you today. So let's do this thing.
It's the holiday season, gift-giving time. And if you're not careful, you'll go broke. But if you go broke, someone will give you credit so you can go deeper in debt. Now, what I'm going to suggest is you have to buy some gifts, but don't spend all your money. Give your time. Give your love. Have a cup of coffee with the guy who has nobody in his life. Be the blessing. God bless you. God blessed us. And here we are.
It's kind of like a secret code between teenagers. Yeah, have you heard these slang terms that they've been throwing around lately? Let me just give you a few examples, like sus, bet, yeet, salty, cap, extra, bussin'. What do all these things mean? Well, you're about to have an awful lot of time on your hands with your teenagers over this Christmas break. So I'm going to kind of spell some of these out for you, at least 10 of them, to get you familiar with them so you don't feel like a total outsider when you hear your kids talking with their friends and using these terms, okay? So stick around. We'll get into it after your weather and word of life. And hey, they're coming up next. Your word of life today comes to you from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23. In the New Living Translation of the Bible, let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep His promise. Wow, such a promise to hold on to, isn't it? Yeah, hey, why don't you share that word of life with somebody and tell them what God means to you? Yeah, you know, it's part of this life, this faith life. It's sharing our faith with other people, letting them know how we've been changed by Jesus. So try it today. you can start the conversation with this word of life. We've got it ready across all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and TikTok. It's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, it looks like we are just 4 minutes and 17 seconds away from hearing some descriptions, some explanations, some definitions on this slang that your teenager's been throwing around here lately. And a little tip for you, too, if you have younger kids, on how you can help them read a little easier and a little quicker, get a little more practice at home while watching TV. What? More next. So my wife and I were watching a movie on Netflix last night, and it started off with these sisters who were moving to London from Germany, and they were talking to each other in German. And I don't know, but just a few basic simple words in German, so I couldn't follow along with their conversation. It sounded foreign to me, right? Of course. So I was reading those little subtitles, the captions. And that's how I was able to kind of figure out what was going on. I'm so glad that it didn't stay that way through the entire movie. But, oh, by the way, I've got like this 9-year-old right now. She's in 3rd grade, and she's really loving reading. And that's one tip for you parents with the younger ones. If you want your kids to learn to read a little quicker and have a little fun with it, just mute the TV and turn on closed caption. It's a lot of fun. I found my daughter even doing that at the beginning and end of movies with the credits. She'll try to read those names real quick. Yeah, she's getting better at it. But for those of you with kids who are older, say those teenagers, wow. Sometimes they're speaking in like a different language too, aren't they? Some of these slang terms that they've been throwing around here lately. I've got a list of 10 right here, and I want to kind of spell them out for you a little bit because you're about to have so much time with those teenagers during this Christmas break. So I don't want you oblivious to what they're saying when they're talking with their friends, or if they, occasionally use one of these words. I've got 10. I want to just spell out 3 of them for you right now. We'll get to the others throughout the show. You might already know these, but just in case you don't, here you are. Number 1 is sus, S-U-S. What does it mean? Well, it means suspicious or suspect. Teens have basically shortened it, and if you've ever played that game Among Us, you probably heard it there first. Number 2 is bet, B-E-T. It's a shortened version of you bet. It means I agree or okay, but it can also be used to argue a point, as in make a bet. And finally, number 3, for this break anyway, this one's the fun one, okay? It's yeet, Y-E-E-T. Yeah, It's been around since 2014. You may already know it, but it was added to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary in 2022, and its definition is basically to throw, but with an emphasis on forcefulness. You don't care if the thing you're throwing will be broken if you yeet it. So there you go. Those are the first 3. We'll get into the others as we go along through the show this morning. So stick around and I'll help you out with those others. Plus, I'm thinking about throwing in a bonus. So it may be a total of 11 this morning, specifically because this one word made the dictionary this year. Which one is it? Well, stick around and find out. And if you can't hang out for the entire show, I understand. That's the reason why I put this show together as a podcast, and it goes up on Spotify after the show. So just go there and look up Lifeline Morning Show podcast at 10:15 this morning, and you can hear them all there. I want to play a song now for our friend down in Palm Coast, Florida. His name is Joel Modis, and the name of this song is Let This Christmas Be Christ in Me. It's an awesome song. Here, turn it up. It's Toby Baxley.
Creator of the heavens, majesty unknown.
So I picked my daughter up from school yesterday, and on the way home, she's telling me this idea that she has. But first, let me tell you what she's kind of been up to. You see, recently, we watched this video, and this guy was tasked with living in a fully stocked grocery store for as many days as he could, and for every day that he was able to spend there, he would make $10,000 a day. This was crazy, right? But there was a catch. After that first day, he had to find $10,000 in merchandise to sell back to the guy who was putting this challenge together. So he would have to spend part of his time getting up $10,000 worth of merchandise and selling it back to the guy every day. And then every day he racked up $10,000. And this went on for a long time, right? It was a pretty cool little video. And my daughter's like, you know what? I think when I get older, maybe when I get 12, she's 9 right now. When I get 12, maybe 13 years old, I want to become a YouTuber and I want to like spend the night in some place and not get caught. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She said, yeah, I want to spend the night at the thrift store. Because we were planning on going and seeing Hannah at the Caring Heart thrift store yesterday. And I said, well, baby girl, I think maybe you need to let somebody know. You don't need to just try to stick around in secret. You might get in trouble. She's like, oh, that's the fun of it. You don't get in trouble. You're just really sneaky. I'm like, oh, girl, we're going to have to talk more about this, right? But hey, I came across a little bit of a story here. And for all you teachers out there, can I just say that we love you so much. Us parents, we love you. We thank you so much for all that you do. And we know that this particular time of year is crazy. These kids, they don't want to be at school. And it's so close to them being out for Christmas break. It's unreal. So trying to keep everything together is kind of hard right now. So we understand, but we thank you for sticking it out anyway. Came across Jerry Brooks. This guy is an educator. He's seen a thing or two when it comes to students and teachers. And he recently put out a little video. And I thought it was, too relatable for you teachers. So I want you to listen up. Take a listen to this.
Excuse me, what are you two still doing out here? Just gossiping, talking about boys? Your classes went in 15 minutes ago, and everybody in the school has been looking for you. Why are you still out here? Oh, you don't want to go to school today? Nobody wants to go to school today. It is almost Christmas break. Things are crazy, but you ain't got no choice. Now get off of this slide and get in there, because your kids are waiting for you to teach math. I am sick of this. Good Lord, get in there right now.
Yeah. You thought it was kids on the playground at first, didn't you? Nope, it was the teachers. They didn't want to go back into class. I don't blame them. It's crazy this time of year, but teachers, thank you for all that you do. You are appreciated and loved, and I hope you're feeling that this holiday season. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine and let's start that music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards this morning. Oh, this is so much fun. It's a trivia game. I get to ask you some questions. You get to give me some answers, and for those correct answers, you get some gift cards. Not 1, not 2, but 3 gift cards. That's right. That's how it works. 1 to keep, 2 to give away, and then I ask you who you're going to give them to, so you can share some love with them right here on the radio before they even get their gift cards. So it's a win-win. Ready to play my game? Here we go. This one is a little tricky, but think it through and you will get it. It starts with a B as in boy, but it means to change from liquid to gas, and it rhymes with which of these words? Speak, spoof, spoil, or spark? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, it starts with a B, like in the word boy, and it means to change from liquid to gas, and it rhymes with which of these words? Speak, spoof, spoil, or spark? 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and there is my caller. Stay right there on the phone with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answer. Francesca Battistelli with Christmas Is. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You sound extra bubbly this morning.
I am. I've had 2 cups of coffee.
Highly caffeinated. You're ready for the day.
Yes.
What's your name?
Tanya.
All right, Tanya, I got a question for you. Now, this is taking you all the way back to science class. It starts with a B, and it means to change from liquid to gas. It rhymes with which of these words? Speak, spoof, spoil, or spark?
I'm going to say boil.
Spoil, because the word is?
Boil.
Boil! Yeah, somebody paid attention in science class. Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards. How does that make you feel?
Hey, that's fabulous. That makes me even bubblier.
Oh, very good. Very good. All right, so here's the part that I really love. I get to ask you about 2 very special people in your life that mean a whole lot to you. What are their names? And tell me something special.
Hannah, she's my best friend. She's the person that's always there, even when you don't have to ask for her to be there. She just knows what needs done and does it.
Wow. All right.
And my sister, Tessa, she's also just my right-hand person.
So cool. Thank you so much for calling me this morning.
Thank you. You made my day.
You made my day. So bubbly this morning. Now go make it the best day ever, and we'll talk with you soon, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. So much fun, this car line competition. I never know who I'm going to get to talk to. It might be a teacher. It might be somebody on their way to work. It might be a kid on their way to school. It might be a principal. It might be a doctor. I've even heard from bus drivers. It is so much fun. So I wonder who's going to call me up next. I'm about to find out because here's your question. What's the color of an Irish setter? Is it white, gray, black, or red? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, what's the color of an Irish setter? Is it white, gray, black, or red? 256-505-0885. I've got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answer. Okay, so I got a caller, and they gave me a couple answers, because you know I'm all about second chances around here, but they didn't get it right. So we're going to take these two off the board. What is the color of an Irish setter? We're taking white and black off of there. So is it gray or red? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. I've got my caller. All right, let me get to you. Let me turn this music back up, and I'll get your answer. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
Grace, what's going on, darling?
Nothing.
Oh, you headed to school?
Yep, I am.
Awesome. You've got something special going on today? What's that?
I got a Christmas party.
I hope you have an absolute blast, baby girl. I've got a question for you right here, and it's about dogs. What is the color of an Irish setter? Is it gray or red?
Red.
Red is correct. Congratulations to you. So
I
smart.
had that with no help.
Really?
Yes, I knew it because I've seen a lot of Irish people in red.
Uh-huh, that's right. Very good. Well, you know how this works. You win 3 gift cards, and then you give 2 away. I wonder if you could tell me about 2 very special people in your life.
The first one, Jessa.
Jessa? Jessa Roof?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. What do you love about Jessa?
She's just really bubbly, and she is my best friend.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And now
She's real funny.
she's real funny. That's cool. Now tell me about that second person.
Catherine Loftus.
Oh, cool. What do you like about Catherine?
She's also very bubbly, and she is also my friend.
Oh, very good. All right, baby girl. Well, congratulations on winning the gift cards. I think I know how to get them to you. So you can give them out to your friends, okay?
All right.
All right. I love you. Have a great day.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye. My little girl, Grace, she just turned 9, and yep, she's got a Christmas party today as all these schools are slowly winding down for the Christmas break. I know a lot of kids are happy about that. A lot of teachers are too. And hey, it's going to be a fun time. So I hope you have an amazing last or next to last day out there across our listening area. All right, I've got another question here. You want to win some gift cards? Well, here we go. Here is your question. Which creatures are said to bray? Are they cows, camels, giraffes, or donkeys? 256-505-0885. Which creatures are said to bray? B-R-A-Y. Are they cows, camels, giraffes, or donkeys? 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and there's my caller. I'm going to capture it. There we go. All right, enjoy this song. Matthew West, The Heart of Christmas. Hey, we're in the middle of this car line competition. I had a question, and so I got a caller, and I'd like to play that for you now. And plus, a little tidbit, a little factoid afterwards I think you're really going to love. So, shall we get into it? Here we go. Here's that caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. What's your name?
Adley.
Adley. All right. So, is Christmas break almost here?
Yes, sir.
When's your last day?
Today.
Today's your last day?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, awesome. And what is it that you're wanting for Christmas?
My G-Daddy.
Your G-Daddy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, can you explain that one for me?
He is not here right now on Earth. So I just want him for Christmas.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know it can be hard without your G-Daddy. but you're going to make it. You're going to make it. And you got to remember all those amazing memories you made with your G-Daddy, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Wow. Here we go. My question that might just win you some gift cards. Which creatures are said to bray? Are they cows, camels, giraffes, or donkeys?
Donkeys.
Donkeys is correct. Now, I need to hear you bray.
You do it, not me.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Eon, Gonk.
So good. Very nice. Now, this is my favorite part. Besides hearing you bray like a donkey, that was awesome. Tell me about two very special people in your life that mean a lot to you.
My friend Lacey, she's like a best friend to me, and she's been there for me.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, and who's that second person?
My teacher, Miss Hammett, I would go to her for help, and she would be so proud of me. And yesterday, I got something done on this thing, and I got to test it. I had a test on it, and I made 100 on it, and she was so proud of me.
Oh, that is so cool. 100 and a good teacher and a best friend and a lot of love being shared on the radio. I think you rock. I hope you have the best day ever.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'll get these gift cards sent your way. Thanks so much for calling me.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye, David.
We'll see ya. Hadley Collins, thanks again for calling me, and I do hope you have an amazing last day before this Christmas break. It's exciting times, right? Wow, but you know what she said? What she wants for Christmas most is her G-Daddy, and I think that, that emotion is felt by so many people this holiday season. Maybe it's your first one without your very special loved one with you. Or maybe it's your 30th and you still feel the absence. It's tough, I know. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. Because we got a lot of hurting people right now. But first, before we get to all that, I want to pass along a little factoid to you, if that's okay with you. Now, I found this over on TikTok, and I had no idea that this was the case, but evidently it is. So here, take a listen for yourself.
Here in the States, we would make a sound for a donkey like hee-haw. I don't know why I did that with my mouth, but that's what it would sound like here. Now, if you were born and raised in the 100-acre woods with Pooh and his friends, you would have a British accent and it would sound like Eeyore. And that's where Eeyore gets his name from, the sound that a donkey makes.
How cool is that? So Eeyore is just the sound a donkey makes, at least over there in the UK. So, hey, speaking of donkeys, I think we need a donkey song in here. What do you think? Yeah, maybe we should hear a little bit from Dominic the donkey.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La la la.
Dominic the donkey right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. And I just got a call from my wife who said that I just made Chris Lawrence's day because Chris is the one who always requests that song. And I thought I would just step it up a notch. I thought maybe I just knock his socks off. So, Chris Lawrence, I hope you're listening because here's your other song.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
It's not quite as nefarious as a secret handshake, but your kids, well, sometimes they talk in secret code with other kids. Yeah, there's slang terms out there that us parents, us of the older generation, we don't quite know what this stuff means. And it's kind of funny that the tables have turned, right? Because when we were kids, there were a few words that we could use too that our parents had no clue what they meant. So it was kind of a neat undercover kind of feeling. But here, I want to clue you in as to what they're saying because you're about to spend a lot of time with your teenager during this Christmas break. I shared the first 3 of my list of 10 with you earlier on in the show. If you missed it, you can catch it at 10:15 this morning on the podcast on Spotify. Just type in Lifeline Morning Show. But let's get to the next 3, shall we? All right, number 4 is salty. It means when you're upset over something little. It's anger with a bit of sourness and bitterness thrown in. It has its roots in the U.S. Navy vernacular. Yeah, so that's salty. Number 5 is cap. Oh, cap, you think, well, okay, a cap, like a bottle cap, or maybe even a hat you wear on your head. Nope, cap means something completely different. It's another way of saying that someone is lying, especially if there's no point to the lie. When you say no cap, it's as if you're saying for real or I'm not lying. Yeah. So there you go. Cap. And then finally, number 6, at least for this break. We'll get into the next 3 a little later on. Number 6 is extra. Used by about 47% of teens, the definition per Urban Dictionary is being over the top, excessive, dramatic behavior. Yeah. Common internet slang, inspired by Turkish chef Nusret Goki and Salt Bae. You ever seen Salt Bae on social media? He's the guy wearing the white t-shirt and the circle rim glasses. He's got really long black hair, and he walks out with a steak and he cuts it in front of the people who are about to eat it. Then he takes the salt and he sprinkles it, but the way he does it, it bounces off of his elbow onto the meat. Yeah, that's Salt Bae. So he's used that too. So there you go. Those 3, again, are salty, cap, and extra. So if you hear your teenager using that vernacular, using those words, then you're going to know what they mean now. You're welcome. I have 3 more for you coming up in the next few minutes on the Lifeline Morning Show. Plus, I'm going to add an extra, a bonus, one that just made it into the dictionary this year. And it's a pretty cool one too. But I would stress to you, please do not use these words around your kids. They will give you the biggest eye roll you've ever seen. But now you'll know at least what they're saying when they use the terms. When you called Cindy up this time of year, she'd say she was in cake ninja mode. Do you know somebody who just loves baking this time of the year? Maybe giving away cakes and pies. There's just something about using that gift during the holidays that means so much, right? Well, if you've got a Cindy in your life, wow, I've got a story for you coming up next. In the middle of the busyness of this holiday season, I invite you to slow down for just a few minutes and take a listen to this story. I know it's a little long, but I promise you it's worth it.
I want to tell you a little story, if you want to stick around and listen. It's Christmas time. And I'm sure a lot of you are starting to prepare for Christmas Day. Maybe baking cakes or pies, or making candy for yourself, or to give away, or to sell. But every time I think about baking, I think about several years ago. I had a friend that would bake for the public, bake cakes and pies, and, especially during the holidays. And her name was Cindy Lou, but I called her Lou. And I would call her this time of year, and I would say, "What are you doing?" And she'd say, "I'm in cake ninja mode." Meaning, she was covered up in bacon. And she was so good at it. And she took so much pride in her baking, the way she decorated her cakes and everything. She took it up to, the next notch. And she could make a mean carrot cake. One of the best that I've ever had. And in 2015, Lou became terminally ill. And she could no longer bake cakes and pies. She couldn't do anything. She was going through a lot of treatments. And one of our mutual friends that that owns a flower shop in our town, she would always do a lot of baking for her. Her name was Kathy. And I guess she got to thinking about Kathy and the holidays, coming up, and I was sitting there one day and she asked me, she said, "Lee, do you think you could help me make Kathy a cake?" I said, "Well, of course." And, when she would bake cakes and pies, it was kind of almost like she had some secret ingredients in all of her recipes. So for her to ask me to help her bake a cake, it was an honor. So I think she had most of the stuff, and I think I had to go get a couple of more things, to bake that cake. And so we got in that kitchen and we started baking. We had the best time. I was taking it all in. I was taking in every moment. And, she was sharing little helpful hints, about what I needed to do. And I think that she wanted me to help her bake that cake. One, because she was so weak. And another, she just wanted me to know how to make it. So we got that cake baked, and I got it delivered to Kathy, and they were just thrilled to have that cake, and they couldn't believe that that she made a cake and thought enough of them to make a cake for them. And I won't ever forget that day. And I don't know, it just but anyway, the following March, we lost our friend Lou, and I sure do miss her. So I'm telling you this little story to tell you, during the holidays, whether it's baking or just sitting around and eating a piece of carrot cake or opening gifts or whatever, the time that you spend with your friends and your family or whoever, cherish it. Cherish every moment with them. You won't regret it, I promise. I don't. But I just wanted to share. Merry Christmas and much love.
I want her to look beautiful. If Mama meets Jesus tonight.
What a tearjerker. The Christmas Shoes by New Song. And while you're wiping those tears away, I want to take just a few moments to shout some people out. I see you listening to us in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for making us part of your day. Also, Reno County, Kansas is hanging out with us. We got Joel Modest down in Palm Coast, Florida. Arab, Gunnersville hanging out here in North Alabama. And of course, our friends over in Helsinki, Finland. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. Now let's pick it up a little bit. Here's Kane with Christmas. Baby, please come home. Right now it's 39 degrees in Boaz, but in Arab and Huntsville, they just happen to be kissing that 40-degree mark right now. But it gets warmer than that, though, because you see, it's 41 in Scottsboro, 44 in Coleman, 45 in Bluntsville, 47 in Gunnersville. So today may be a two-kiss kind of day. We might be hitting that 50-degree mark, and if we do, I'll get that sound effect back out and we'll play it again. It'll be a two-kiss kind of day. Glad to have a little fun. You got to find ways to make it interesting, right? Coming up here on the show, we're going to talk a little more about those words that your teenagers have been throwing around here lately. Those words you don't quite know what they mean. Well, I'll give you the definition to 3 of them. Stick around. Want to give you a little warning before I talk about this. You don't need to use these words around your teenager, but you need to know what they mean. You use it and it's going to be like a cringe fest because they're going to give you the eye roll. They're going to just be completely obliterated because you used the term. Because it's their language. It's their slang. So here we go. I've already shared the first 6 of my list of 10. Plus, I've already decided I'm going to add another one. So we'll have a bonus as well. But those first 6, if you didn't hear them, you can hear them on the podcast after the show over on Spotify. Lifeline Morning Show podcast at 10:15, okay? All right, so here is number 7. It be bussin'. Bussin'? What is bussin'? You know, that's like when somebody comes and cleans up all the dishes off a table, right? They're bussing the table. No, it's not that. B-U-S-S-I-N actually means that something is really good. Yeah. And lots of times it refers to food. Like, ooh, that carrot cake be bussin'. See? It just doesn't come out right when we use it as adults. So that's number 7. Number 8, bougie. I bet you've heard that term before. It's a form of the word bourgeois, which generally describes a materialistic middle to upper class person. But really, bougie can simply be a word you'd use to describe high-end taste. So bougie, oh, fancy, that's what it means. And then number 9, this is a fun one to say, almost as fun as yeet. And that was one of the ones we shared earlier. This one is sheesh, S-H-E-E-S-H. So sheesh, but you don't just say it sheesh. You say sheesh. It has to come out like that, but you don't need to practice that because you don't need to say it. But when your kids aren't around, if you just want to say it because it's fun, go for it. All right, what does sheesh mean? An expression when you're impressed or amazed by something, often pronounced in that shrill way, emphasizing the E sound. So there you go. 3 more in your arsenal. Now you know what they mean. So when you hear your teenagers talking with other teenagers, it's not like they're talking in a foreign language or secret code anymore. So you're welcome. And stick around because I've got number 10 and the bonus to get to before the end of the show. So you definitely want to be here for that. And they're really fun too. So one of them just made it into the dictionary this year. I can't wait to tell you more about it. But I digress. We must play some more Christmas music and talk about other things between now and then. And be here, okay? Remember, if you need to stream us because you got to step away from your radio, click that On Now button at 885jfm.com. Press play, and you are good to go. We'd love to keep you company all day long. No matter if you're listening to us on the radio or the stream or the podcast. Thank you for being here. Promises kept. You know what? That's something that we all want. Our promises to be kept. That's something that I look at too as a parent. I don't ever want to break a promise to my child, you know? And hopefully you never want to break a promise to your friend either. But hey, I want to talk about friendship. I want to go a step further than friendship. And I want to talk more about what exactly is a soulmate. It's a pretty deep topic, right? But I love the way that it's explained in this little clip. Here, let me play it for you.
What's a soulmate?
It's like a best friend, but more. It's the one person in the world who knows you better than anyone else. It's someone who makes you a better person. Actually, they don't make you a better person. You do that yourself because they inspire you.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Wow. And you know what? That relationship that you have with that soulmate of yours, it's so special. And this time of year, of course, it's celebrated. But why is it celebrated? Because of the love that it's patterned after. And that is the love that we receive from our Heavenly Father. I'm telling you, there's just something about it. That He wants to be close to us. That He wants relationship. He wants communication with us every single day. That just blows my mind. The God of the universe, the one who created it all, knows you by name. He knows how many hairs are on your head. He knows how many tears you've cried over your entire life. He loves you. Some days it's like I take it for granted. It doesn't really rock my world, but I'm telling you, when I just take a second to think about it, I am overwhelmed by just how loved I really am. And the fact that I get to share that love with others is huge. So go share it well today.
A good deed goes a long way, especially this time of the year. We hear more and more about these good things happening. And of course, I'm going to share them with you. But you know what I love about these good things is that they inspire other good things to happen. A domino effect, even. I love when that happens. So I've got a story for you coming up about a lost bag and a very thankful lady. You've got to hear the whole thing. So stick around. We'll get into it here at the top of the hour. I want to talk about something right now. So it's a little something that happened to me yesterday. Yeah, I was at this staff Christmas lunch at Rock House Eatery here in Guntersville. Second time ever to eat there. And the Rock Star, oh, so good. It's like this roast beef sandwich with au jus. Oh, anyway, if you've never tried it before, it's delicious. But while we're sitting there, of course, we have this conversation. We have a good lunch, and Christmas cards are handed out in red envelopes, right? And I get mine. I set it down on the table, and we get to talking some more. And then I get up, and I start to leave. And lo and behold, I left the card on the table. Luckily, somebody told me, hey, Steven, is this yours? And I'm like, yes, that's mine. I need that. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And by the time I was grabbing mine, Carrie, my coworker, she had forgotten her purse. So I was able to get that back to her, which was awesome because could you imagine losing your purse, losing your bag this time of year? For a guy, losing your wallet, losing a bundle of cash. Oh my goodness, because it goes a long way this time of the year. You got presents to buy, gifts to get, right? Well, that's kind of where Georgia found herself. In fact, she had just left a Christmas party, her work Christmas party, and she went to the gas station. And she didn't really think, I don't know if she really retraced her steps because she had lost her bag. It had been missing for a few days when all of a sudden, somebody ringed her doorbell. She's got one of those Ring doorbells, the kind that takes video. Yeah? So she was able to answer it while she was at a friend's house, and the conversation was amazing. It's some good news I wanted to pass along to you. So here, take a listen to how it all went down. Now keep in mind, this is from our friends across the pond.
Hello?
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
You have my bag?
Yeah, I got your bag. Are you Georgia Louise Girelli?
I've been crying my eyes out. How have you got my bag?
Found it at a petrol station. Do you want to grab it off me? Or shall I post it through your door?
I'm at my friend's house in Watford. Can you please leave it behind the wheelie bin?
Do you not want me to just stick it through the letterbox?
Listen, can you send me your bank details? I'm going to send you some money. I'm crying my eyes out about my bag. I'm going to send you some money.
Do you know what? I was going to leave it till tomorrow morning, but I remember my ex lost their bag on a night out and she was that stressed. I just thought, you know what? I'll just go and drop it off now.
No, listen, you don't understand. Like, I'm literally crying my eyes out.
Shall I get it through the letterbox? I think it'll fit. Nah, I'm not sure it will actually.
Listen, put it inside the brown bin. Put it inside the brown bin.
Alright, Sam.
Listen, what's your number? I'm going to send you some money.
Listen.
I'm going to send you some money.
Nah, just pay it forward. Just do something nice for the next person. Hey, take care, Georgia. You have a good night, yeah?
What? Thank you so. There's some money in the purse. Take some money out the purse.
Georgia, listen, I'm a firefighter. I don't need money for doing a good deed, yeah? You take care, love.
Thank you so much.
That's alright, come on.
Thank you so much.
Enough, yeah?
Thank you so much.
Hey, don't mention it. Alright, take care.
Bye.
It's in the brown bin.
I'd say Georgia was very thankful. Yep. And to get her purse back after that Christmas party, there's probably a bonus check in there. I'm just saying. So I can understand why she was so beside herself. But wow, Nima is the guy's name. He's the one who dropped it off. And you know what? He had to drive over an hour to her house to bring it to her. And like you said, he was going to just wait till in the morning, but he thought, no, she's probably really missing this, so I'm going to take care of it right now. And you heard that. She wanted to give him some money. Even told him, hey, take some money out of the purse. I want to give you something. He just said, no, pay it forward. Isn't it funny how one good deed can be so valuable? I mean, look at it. It happened all the way over in the UK. And we're talking about it here in the States. And you were just encouraged by it. Wow. You know that you have that kind of power when you do a good deed for somebody else. And you never know how far it's going to go. It could take that domino effect and just keep touching people down the line. And you're the one who started it. Or maybe you were a part of that domino effect. It's a blast, isn't it? So, hey, I just wanted to give you a good news story because there's plenty of negative out there. But as long as I keep finding this good stuff, I'll keep bringing it to you. And I'll keep encouraging you because, hey, it's what this life is all about. It's relationships. It's doing good by each other. It's looking out for one another. And I think Nima did an amazing job for Georgia. What do you think? Yeah. I love the magic of Christmas, whether that's with, I don't know, maybe a guy with a really white beard and a red suit. Yeah, you know that guy who brings the toys. Or maybe even in that little elf that sits on the shelf but moves around from time to time. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this new magic. Well, his name is Chinook. He's a dad, tries to bring the magic for his daughter, and he started this new tradition. Who knows? She might pass on to her kids, and you could even try it for yourself. It'll cost you nothing but a little time to find a pine cone More next.
Tonight I can see a star shine.
This time of the year, we hear of all these magical things like talking snowmen and even flying reindeer. And who knows, maybe you've heard the story of that guy with the sack and with the sleigh. Maybe you celebrate with the elf that moves all around the house. He gets into some pretty precarious situations, that elf, I'm just saying. But however you bring the magic to your family, I hope it's going well this year. Let me tell you a little bit about Luna. I wish you could see her face. It's wide-eyed wonder written all over her face because of what her dad just did. This is such a cool idea, maybe even a tradition you would want to start with your kids. But basically, it comes down to this. You see, his name is Chinook. This dad is just awesome. And he had this idea. He's a storyteller as well. So he made up this little story about how he and Luna could water a pine cone right before night. So they would water it, and then they would just let the moon do its magic. And overnight, that pine cone, he told his little daughter, would turn into a beautiful Christmas tree. And there's so many ways that you can really make this your own. But the video shows them watering this little pine cone that's in a bowl, and then Luna heading off to bed. And the next morning when she gets up, she comes in, and you can see on the walls around the living room that there are these bright lights just shining, glistening, right? And it shows what's happened. The pine cone is gone, and the Christmas tree is there with all the ornaments, all the lights, all the tinsel. It looks amazing. And that's how this dad brought the magic to his little girl. Watering that pine cone, taking care of it for just a little while, and then waiting until overnight that pine cone grew into this amazing Christmas tree. I love it. So many people love it too. So many comments on this video. One person said, in a world where magic is dying, this is everything. To more magic, moonlight, and pine cones. What a beautiful treasured memory for her to pass on, echoed another. Another person said, oh my goodness, I will now do this with my future children. Go on a walk to get our Christmas tree pine cone. I love this. So I just wanted to pass it along to you. There are many amazing ways to make this Christmas magical. Wow. Good stuff. Many memories to be made with those little ones. Ones they'll talk about with their little ones. And those stories will be passed down from generation to generation. You never know what kind of tradition you might start that's going to last and stand the test of time. But it's all about spending that quality time with your loved ones. And I hope you've had a great Christmas season so far. Just a few more days to go, and the big day will be here. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So I've been following these temperatures all day long. I'm so glad it's been a little warmer today than it was yesterday. And you know, I got to play my sound effect earlier for hitting that 40-degree mark. And it looks like all of us are warming up quite nicely right now. 47 in Huntsville, 48 in Boaz, 49 right now in Arab. And guess what happened? We are kissing those 50s right now. 51 here in Gunnersville, 52 right now in Scottsboro, Coleman, and Bluntsville. It's a two-kiss kind of day. I hope you're having a great one so far. Hey, if you haven't been to our website lately, go check it out. You know, I got to talk with some artists recently. Andrew Ripp, and I don't know, maybe you remember this girl from the early 2000s. Her name is Rachel Lampa. I got to talk with her, and I got to talk with Blessing Offer. And believe it or not, Blessing Offer's favorite color is pink. You're like, Steven, I thought he was blind. Haha, he does have a little bit of sight. And we talked a little bit about that. So, anyway, just wanted to pass that along to you. All those clips found right there at 885jfm.com, plus the On Now button. Click that, press play, and you can listen to us from wherever you happen to be. Well, like they're doing right now up in Chicago, Illinois. Good morning to you. Also, Palm Coast, Florida. Joe Modis, as always, sir, thank you for hanging out. We got our friends in Helsinki, Finland. Our friends over in Reno County, Kansas as well. And I'm watching this map. So if I see your pin pop up, I'll shout you out too. There's this guy from Hampton, South Carolina I started following a while back over on TikTok. His name is Brian Trent. He's the pastor of Lighthouse Church out there, and he's on the socials as Trent Tribe. It's him and his family. They always have amazing content, and he just released something that got me, and I wanted to share it with you. So here, take a listen to this.
So the other night, my 11-year-old dropped this truth bomb on me. We had just finished doing a devotional about Jesus being born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem meaning the house of bread, which is cool because Jesus referred to himself as the bread of life. So anyone that follows him is fed on a deeper level than the physical hunger, one that a lot of us spend a lifetime trying to fill with other things. And after this 10-minute discussion of this devotional about the birth of Jesus and the bread of life, I was headed out the door when my 11-year-old said, "Hey, Dad, you know when you have a fresh, hot out of the oven loaf of bread and you break it open, the smell fills the room?" I went back in and said, "Could you say that one more time?" He said, "You know when Mom bakes a fresh loaf of bread and breaks it open, the aroma fills the house." Well, I think we're having church now. Have you ever considered that your life is like an aroma that fills the room? 2 Corinthians 2 says we are the aroma of Christ to this world. That means you're a fresh, hot loaf of bread. See, that aroma comes from what's inside of that which has been broken. So when we have Christ inside, we have the bread of life inside of us. And when we experience trials and things that break us open, the aroma from within is what fills the place. If what's inside of us is bad, it'll fill the room with a bad aroma. But when Christ is inside of us, the aroma of the bread of life fills that place. The outside of us may look rough and tattered, but the inside smells incredible. And the heat that we experience in life is not to destroy the bread, but it's to finish the work on the inside of the loaf so that when it's opened, the aroma of the bread of life pours out. And the world around us feeds off of the bread of life. You smell that? It's the bread of life permeating the place in which you stand.
It's hard to believe the end of the show is almost here, so I better wrap up these slang terms, right? So I had a list of 10. I went ahead and shared the first 3, the second 3, the third 3, and now it's time for the final one. Plus, I'm going to add one bonus on there because, we just need a bonus. Plus, it just made it, itself really popular this year. I think it even made it into the dictionary, so we'll get into that. But if you missed any of the other ones, I just want to remind you can catch them on our podcast after the show at 10:15 today over on Spotify. Just type in Lifeline Morning Show podcast right there on Spotify. So, number 10, the final in the list is drip. D-R-I-P. It's basically a different word for cool, and it's usually paired up with the word sauce. Dripping sauce. It's a hip-hop term that became popular again around 2015, and they're still using it. Lots of times you talk about somebody's drip, you're talking about their fashion sense as well. So now I want to caution you, please don't use these words in conversation with your kids unless you want the strong eye roll, or you want the side eye, or maybe you want to, Mom, or Dad, because it's cringeworthy for those kids. It's their language. So you got to let them keep it, but now you know what it is. And here is the most recent one. This one has really gotten popular as of late, and it is Rizz. R-I-Z-Z. It's short for charisma. So there you go. Instead of charisma, it's Rizz. Simply means an ability to charm and woo a person. Well, just like it's spelled, it's pronounced Rizz. There you go. It found its way to the masses over on TikTok, and yep, it's pretty well used these days. So now you know a few of those slang terms, because you're going to be around your kids a lot more here the next couple weeks for this Christmas break, right? Hey, and I want to invite you to come back tomorrow because I'm going to have an idea for you. Some things to do with those younger kids to make it a more productive Christmas break. Don't worry, we're not going to do homework and get out the math and the history books. No. That's not what Christmas break's about. We're going to learn some basics, and I'll share those with you tomorrow, okay? So I've got time for one more song, then I'll come back and share with you the inspiring quote of the day, and then we'll wrap it all up. We'll put a nice bow on it and put it underneath the Christmas tree. Sound good? All right. Stephen Curtis Chapman. Christmas time again. Here is your inspiring quote of the day. It is so good. And here. Okay, so it comes from Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything." And that's right. Sometimes we're so afraid we're going to mess things up because maybe we've messed it up in the past. It keeps us from even moving forward, from taking that first step to do that next thing. And it keeps us paralyzed. But I don't want you to be stuck there. So I want to give you a little encouragement to help you make that next
move. Take that next step. Take a listen to this.
You thought this was it. Maybe you thought this was the end of the road. Maybe you thought that you can't move it beyond this point, that where you're at right now is where it ends. But I want you to know something, that the God in the Bible who revealed himself to Moses as I am who I am, that statement means something very simple and very powerful. It means he is the self-existent one. It means that he is the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega. It began with him and it ends with him. And if the God who is self-existent says that he is with you, that he is for you, that he is by your side, take confidence in that. Know that no matter what comes your way, that God has already foreseen it in his sovereignty, that God has already determined and known the outcome, that he has things worked out according to his purposes, not according to your own. So instead of worrying about it, why don't you lay it in the hands of the one who always was, the one who knows the beginning and the end. And he's also a God who cares deeply for you and loves you. Trust in him. He's got this.
That's the reason why you can take that next step, why you can make that next move. You've got to be able to do it because you know that he's with you every step of the way. You don't have to be paralyzed anymore. Isn't that good news? And hey, you know what I just did, sharing that with you? You could do that for somebody else. You could share that good news with them. Imagine what kind of difference it's going to make in their life, especially if they've been real hesitant about something, especially if, well, maybe they are all alone. Maybe they don't know Jesus. Well, you get to introduce them to him. What do you think about that? Yeah? And hey, if you could use some help in being a little more confident in sharing your faith, we've got some resources over on our website, 885jfm.com, that dive in tab. Go ahead and look there. You're going to find soul winning tools. Basically, that is a little guide of the different scriptures you can talk with them about, how you can approach sharing the gospel with them. We've got it in English and in Spanish. Again, that's 885jfm.com. Well, it's been a blast hanging out with you today. Let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? Yeah? All right, from 6 to 10. Hey, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you right back here tomorrow.